The last 3 editions of the Philippine Cup has been nothing but disappointment for the Meralco Bolts, who won just 8 out of 33 games overall. In the last 3 years, the Bolts have not been fortunate to acquire a quality big man, someone who could provide double-double numbers every game and patrol the shaded lane for the team. Meralco coach Norman Black appointed centers in commission like ageless undersized big man Reynel Hugnatan and Cliff Hodge to help Jason Ballesteros last season. But we all know that to do well against the likes of powerhouse squads San Miguel, Barangay Ginebra and even Magnolia, the 3 conference champions last season, the Bolts just can't simply rely on undersized bigs to win. Despite that, however, the Bolts have always made a splash in the import-spiced conferences, with Black going to familiar faces like Arinze Onuaku and Durham in plugging the gaping hole in the middle. The result? A consistent playoff appearance in at least the last 6 import conferences. Except for the 2018 Governor's Cup, where injuries to key players affected Meralco in the eliminations, the Bolts have reached the finals twice, the last 3 times in the 3rd conference behind Durham. The Bolts also came 1 win short of making the Commissioner's Cup finals in the 2016 season, losing only to the Alaska Aces 3-2 in a physical semi-final series. But all that could possibly change as Meralco is set to start its 2019 PBA season with some exciting additions in vastly improved guard John Nard Pinto, rookies Trevis Jackson and Bon Quinto, along with free agent pickup Gabby Espinas. Meralco veterans Cliff Hodge, Jared Dillinger and Reynel do Ocampo spent a considerable time on the injured list last season. Hodge dealt with ankle issues that forced him to miss the first 4 games of the Philippine Cup last season. He then hurt his knee in a collision with Willie Wilson during his first game back. Do Ocampo also missed the entire Philippine Cup due to a calf injury, while Dillinger dealt with bone spurs on his right foot that forced him to miss a big chunk of the Governor's Cup. But with the 3 veterans now healthy, hopes are high for Meralco to finally break through this season, beginning in the All-Filipino Conference. Do Ocampo and Dillinger are deadly outside snipers. Their combined championship experience could bode well for Meralco, a team that is still in search for its first PBA title since joining the league in 2010. Hodge, on the other hand, is a relentless worker at the post. He may have the height of June Fajardo, but he puts in 110% every time he's on the floor. The trio's presence could hopefully alter the team's fortunes this season, considering that Meralco was ranked among the fewest rebounding teams in 2018. As always, Meralco will have to rely heavily on its grit, gang rebounding and solid team defense in the hope of breaking through in the PBA's 44th season. Except for the Philippine Cup, Meralco ranked among the top 3 teams in defense last season, limiting its opponents to below 90 points in the 2 import conferences, a trademark of Black-coached squads. Free agent pickup Gabby Espinas remains a welcome addition for Meralco. At 37, Espinas is expected to contribute in rebounds and be a solid defender in the post. As far as offense is concerned, no Meralco player figured in the top 10 scoring this past season, but that's because Black elected to spread the team's offense to a number of players. 3-point shooting was Meralco's main weapon in 2018. Baser American veteran forward KG Canaleta led the Bolts in 3-point field goals made with close to 100 shots made last season. Garvo Lanete, Chris Newsom and Mike Talomia also showed their ability to knock down the 3 on any given night, while Hugnatan has developed his long range over the last 2 years. But perhaps the biggest addition in the offseason for Meralco was the entry of Pinto. Pinto saw his stock rise after averaging career-high numbers of 11.3 points, 6.2 assists and 3.8 rebounds in more than 30.7 minutes of play for Blackwater in the Governor's Cup. He also shot a league-best 56.8% from 3-point range, helping the Elite to the playoffs en route to a franchise-best 5th-place finish in the season-ending conference. Pinto's contract issues, however, paved the way for his exit from the Elite, who traded him to Phoenix in exchange for Joseph Iriobu. Then, the sweet-shooting Pinto failed to come to terms with the Fuel Masters and eventually ended up with Meralco. Pinto's shooting, improved playmaking and no-nonsense defense will surely boost the Bolts' guard-heavy rotation. With healthy players and new additions, Meralco will continue its quest for a first-ever franchise PBA championship.